Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a problem that, let's be honest, hits pretty close to home for almost all of us. How do you cut through all the noise of modern life to find real, genuine satisfaction in what you do? We're going to explore the incredible link between deep work and that amazing psychological state called flow. You know that feeling, right? Your day is just a complete blur of notifications, emails, and meetings. You're on a hamster wheel. You get to the end of the day, you are completely drained, but when you stop and think about it, what did I actually accomplish today? Does that sound a little too familiar? Well, if you feel that way, I want you to know you are not alone. This isn't some personal failure. Nope, it's a symptom of our time. We are living through a full-blown distraction epidemic, and we're constantly getting trapped in this cycle of just unfulfilling busyness. The author Cal Newport has this fantastic term for it. He calls it the metrics black hole. See, in a lot of jobs today, it's really hard to measure the actual value someone's creating. So what do we do instead? We default to doing things that look like work, like, being hyper-responsive on email all day long. So, how do we escape this trap? Well, the very first step is to understand a really critical idea. Not all work is created equal. We've got to learn to see the difference between two very, very different kinds of activity. Basically, everything we do at work falls into one of two buckets. On one side, you've got shallow work. This is all the logistical busy work, sorting your inbox, scheduling calls, all the stuff you can do while you're half distracted. It feels productive, but it doesn't create much new value, and frankly, almost anyone could do it. And then there's deep work. This is where the magic happens. This is that state of pure, zero distraction focus where you are pushing your brain right to the edge of its capabilities. This is the stuff that leads to breakthroughs, that makes you better at what you do, and that is incredibly hard for someone else to just come in and replicate.
Now, the problem with a day filled with shallow work isn't just that you're not creating anything meaningful. It's the damage it does to your brain. See, every time you switch tasks, like glancing at an email and then trying to get back to your report, a little piece of your attention gets left behind. It's called attention residue, and it basically puts a drag on your mental engine, making it impossible to perform at your best.
So we know deep work is essential for creating high-value stuff. But what's the real prize for doing it? Well, it goes way beyond just being productive. It taps into this incredibly powerful psychological state that I'm willing to bet you've experienced before. It's called flow. It was first described by the psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, and flow is that amazing in-the-zone feeling. It's when you are so completely absorbed in what you're doing that the rest of the world just fades away. The experience itself is so enjoyable that it becomes its own reward. And this isn't some vague, mystical feeling. It has really specific ingredients. You need to have clear goals. You need immediate feedback on how you're doing. You feel this sense of effortless control. You completely lose your self-consciousness. And this is the one everyone talks about. Your sense of time gets all warped and distorted. It sounds incredible, because it is. But here's the million-dollar question for all of us. How can you get there on purpose? How do you make flow a regular part of your life, instead of just some happy accident that you hope for? And here it is. This is the crucial connection, the whole point we've been building towards. The most reliable, proven, and direct path to achieving a state of flow is the practice of deep work. Cal Newport says it outright. The very definition of deep work, that intense, single-minded focus without any distractions, is the perfect recipe for a flow state to bubble up. The two are natural partners. Okay, so let's make this practical. How do we turn this into a blueprint? How can we stop just waiting for flow to strike like lightning and start actively engineering it into our daily lives? Well, according to all the research, you need to create 3 specific conditions. First, you need crystal clear goals. You know exactly what you're trying to do. Second, you need immediate feedback so you can tell how you're doing. And third, you have to find that perfect sweet spot where the task is challenging enough to keep you engaged, but not so impossibly hard that it just makes you anxious. Now check this out, because this is where it gets really surprising. Researchers tracked thousands of people, and they found that people reported being in a state of flow way more often at work, like 54% of the time, compared to only 18% of the time during their leisure hours. So why the huge difference? It's because work is often structured like a game. It has those built-in conditions, clear goals, challenges, feedback loops. But our free time? It's often so unstructured that we just end up scrolling or binge watching, and that makes finding flow much, much harder. But the awesome thing is, we can build that game-like structure for ourselves. We can create rituals. Give yourself a hard time limit. Set up your environment so everything you need is right there. And try this one. It's a game changer. Instead of taking breaks from your focus, schedule your breaks for distraction ahead of time. It puts you back in the driver's seat.
Now, mastering this whole process isn't just a productivity hack. It's much deeper than that. It's a pathway to actually transforming your personality into what psychologists call an autotelic self.
It's a cool word, right? It comes from the Greek for self and goal. An autotelic person is someone who finds their rewards internally. For them, the activity itself is the ultimate goal. They can take a stressful situation and turn it into an enjoyable challenge, and they can maintain their inner peace no matter what's going on around them. The story of the Olympic runner Eric Liddell is such a perfect example of this. Later in his life, he was imprisoned in a WWI internment camp. But even there, he found immense purpose and joy by organizing games and teaching the children. He embodied this idea of finding reward in the struggle itself. Liddell's story shows us what the ultimate goal of all this is. It's the ability to generate your own meaning, your own flow from the inside out. It's becoming the source of your own satisfaction, creating an amazing experience even when the world around you is total chaos.
So this journey, from distraction to deep work, from deep work to flow, and from flow to an autotelic self, this is a path that's available to every single one of us. It's not about changing your job. It's about fundamentally changing how you engage with your life. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what challenge will you choose to find your flow?